Hello, my friends. How is everybody? Oh, Kitty's here. Dogs are barking. What's new, right? What's new? Sorry, I'm a bit late. Been running. Crazy. I will tell you. Isn't today the day that the sun, I think the sun and Saturn are conjunct? And I had a day. I had a day with my day job. So here I am. I made it. How are you guys? How are you guys today? Hi, Annie Bear. Hi, Shine. Let's see. I want to say hello to everybody. Daniel, hello. Oh my goodness, Daniel. I see your question. Wow. All right. No fear, right? All right. And Annie Bear swooshing through. Swoosh away. Thank you. Shining love, light, truth. And Craig, good to see you. Just got back from the picture show, the movies. Nice. Our theater, by the way, that was right around the corner has closed. That used to show, like on Wednesdays, they would show, old films, and it closed. So, the world we live in. And who else is here? Lori, good to see you. Lori, L5R, is that who? Am I reading that correctly? And Higher Realms, and Michelle Krantz, and Watcher, and Gina Lynn, and User, lot of letters and numbers. Liz Reeves, Ilona, good to see you. Lori, and Crystal Blue. Hey, everybody, dowsing rods time. Today is dowsing rods day. So, I've decided I'm going to try to do it weekly, and we can do it shorter. There's just so much that we have to ask. Watcher, this is going to be, I have tarot scopes up there. So let me take that banner down. It is not tarot scopes. This is current events for dowsing rods. So sorry about that. Oh, thanks, Scott. Oh, I still have to reply to you. I'm sorry. I've been kind of running like a chicken with my head cut off. So I will get back with you. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and do current events questions. So please put them in here. There's just a lot going on in the news. I have not had time to sort of make notes for myself today. So we're going to wing it, and we're going to be just fine. Right. I think we need to ask questions about, obviously more questions about the war that they don't want to call a war. Boots on the ground is one of them. I want to also ask, sorry, I'm wobbling this, but I want to ask about insider trading. We'll talk about that in a moment. I want to ask about some of the revelations that came out with Jack Smith today. The findings related to the documents. That's interesting if anybody chooses to do anything with it. Dogs barking. Okay. So please put your questions in. I do appreciate it. We can talk about, the price of oil still. We have things. Okay. So please put in your questions. I just have 2 right now from Daniel. But I want to ask also about the meteors, and I guess that's related to Daniel's question he was asking about asteroids and comets. A comet with a potential. I haven't heard about that comet, Daniel, so thank you for sharing that. Hi, Melody. Good to see you. Do share. Your dog barked back. Sorry. These, I love dogs. I really do. But I've said this before. I'm not a big fan of these dogs next door. The neighbor, they keep them on a chain in the backyard and never take them on walks, and so they're very aggressive. If anybody goes anywhere near them, they will bark and they'll like attack. Really, they bit they Henry wandered too close one day and they bit him, and they don't have a fence up, so they just clip them back there. I think those leashes make them aggressive. So, okay. Just made myself cough. Yeah, I'm gonna, oh, and I also want to say, Liz, you live nearby. So it's almost 90 degrees again, March 25th here in beautiful Mile High City, Denver, Colorado. So we've got I turned the AC on. So you're right, Watcher. They have never been socialized. And I really feel bad. I mean, listen, most dogs they're big dogs. They need to walk. They need to walk. And so, at the very least, I mean, they only need a stretch. I think the guy's father owns the building. Put a little stretch of fence up there, and they will be fine. It's only about like 10 feet across to close it off, so that they would be able to just run around. But I think with the leashes, it's not good. So, anyway, all right, guys. Current events questions. We need them now. And as I start asking questions, I know you are going to have questions too. So, yeah, I don't like it at all. Either this. All right. So, I think I'm going to try to just answer the questions without popping them up because they get in the way and it's disruptive. So I'm going to start with Daniel's question about the comet, which I know nothing about. So it should be interesting to see what that's about. And I have a few questions related to that in terms of the meteors that we're seeing. So, okay. And here we go. So Daniel asks, we have a comet with potential to hit the sun next week or two. Any Earth impacts? Kitty's here. Come on, Kitty. He wants to get on my shoulder. Okay. All right. So let's see. Let's see what we got. Regal Theaters have older films. Thank you. Okay, Crystal Blue. Thank you. I got your question too. All right. The comet that has the potential to hit the sun. Any Earth. So I'm going to show, if anybody's new here, I want to just show you my dowsing rods. And by the way, thank you for coming. My name is Kelly, the mystic next door. Sorry, I'm a little befuddled today because if I have time at the end, I'll tell you about the conflagration that happened at one of the schools where I work, sometimes on Wednesdays. Anyway, okay, so here's how they work. I ask my guides and angels to step in closely and ask them if they are ready to answer questions. And there's my yes. And the dog said yes too. Okay. And can you show us a no? Yes, there's a no. Okay. And I want to also show, this happens quite a bit with my dowsing rods. Can you show us a maybe? They kind of wiggle waggle a little bit. Sometimes they'll cross, sometimes they won't. And it's pretty clearly either not decided yet or whatever it is. Hi, Gray. Yes. Okay. Okay, so we'll ask the question that Daniel asked. He asked if he says there's a comet that's supposed to hit the sun in the next 2 weeks, and will it impact the Earth? It's like a little bit. Look. Sort of. That's kind of like a sort of. Okay. Will it cause solar flares on the sun that impact the Earth? Yeah, that's how it will impact the Earth. Okay. Yeah. I know. It is amazing, Daniel. I love it. Hi, Barbara. Got your question too. All right. And you asked another question. You said, do you know where the astrological characteristics such as Uranus change? Oh, Uranus being change and innovation come from mythology. Well, like the outer planets, a lot of them, especially the closer in planets, came from mythology, but the outer planets have a lot to do with, Uranus was only discovered in the last, Kitty's going to go out the window, out the screen. Uranus was discovered at the time, I think the end of in the 1800s, around the time that electricity was discovered. So that's one of its characteristics. Typically what they do is they apply the characteristics of what's happening in the world to when they discover those planets. So, and then of course, over time, we watch and see and validate that things happen when Uranus, for instance, is an aspect to other planets. Okay. I digress. Hi, Rhonda. Good to see you. Amanda, you have a question as well. And I'm sorry. Hi, Amanda. And CJ has a question. And you're waiting for Kitty to swap the rods. Susie, I don't know if I can get that with a yes, no, but oh, Rhonda, your kitty looks the same. Oh, sweet. All right, Crystal Blue asks, will a Democrat win the governor's race in California? I'm hearing a yes, but let's see what the dowsing rods say. Will a Democrat win the governor's race in California? Will a Democrat win the governor's race? That's a strong yes. Okay, I'm going to put this down a little bit. All right. Next question. Okay, so Liz says, I've heard that there have been Sasquatch sightings, and is it related to the meteors? Are the Sasquatch sightings related to the meteors? No, not really. It's kind of that looks like a big yes, a no, but it's kind of a wishy-washy no. Is it something to do with the what's happening in our skies? Yes. Okay. Not sure what else I would ask. Oh, I do want to ask about, so there have been more meteor sightings, not just Cleveland, but I think 5 different places: California, Texas, is it Michigan? Is this a sign of things to come? Are we going to be seeing more from? Yes, that's a kind of a slow yes. Is it related to 3i Atlas that's just passed through our? That was a yes. Okay. So the meteors are related to 3i Atlas. Are the meteors going to continue in frequency? Ooh. Okay. Will they continue through the month of April? They're saying no. So will they continue in frequency for the next couple of months? Or weeks, I meant to say. I was thinking weeks and I said months. So that was a yes. They always know what I'm asking, even if I haven't asked it yet. Okay. But I just want to say, are these meteors kind of like a prophecy that things are changing? Yes. Yes. All right. Any questions related to that? I'm looking vibrant today. Wow. I'm feeling kind of feisty. I just quit one of the schools where I work because the kids were so bad. I've never done that before, ever. But I said, peace out. No, thank you. All right. CJ, thank you. I have a question. Got your question, Crystal Blue, and that's a good question. Are the meteors more of a danger than they're telling us? Are the meteors more of a danger than they're telling us? No. Are they more of a warning? Yeah. Okay. A harbinger, right? Okay. Thank you, Liz. All right. Barbara, question. Will JFK's grandson, Jack, win a seat in Congress? He's running in New York City. Will JFK's grandson win? Look at that. They wanted to cross before I even got the question out. So JFK's grandson will win. Okay. Will Trump comment about the Repubs staying? We have some typos. Hold on. Staying ton pass have been because Jesus wants Republic. Okay. Something. Oh, Save Act? CJ, I might need you to retype that. We got a few typos in there and I can't really read it. Okay. Susie Q. Will first contact be in 2027? I'm hearing they already have made contact. Will we have widely known contact in 2026? A slow wobble into a yes. Okay. Will it not be widespread? Is that why? So it won't be widespread. Are the ETs here to help us? Yes. I'm also hearing from the future. How about that? That's kind of cool. Okay. Sorry, CJ, if you could retype that would be great. It's something about the Save Act and Jesus, but I can't read the rest. All right. And Crystal Blue asks, will there be a major earthquake in Southern California in the next 2 months? A major earthquake. Ooh. Will it be over 6 points? It looks like it'll be like close to 6 points. See how it's kind of tips crossing? Yeah. Thank you, Susie Q. I appreciate that. Yeah, I will tell you the story in a moment, but we teach kind of like after school enrichment at this one school, and it's STEM based. This is what my business is: STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. And these kids are so disrespectful. And today, they were throwing sharpened pencils at me and yelling and gaslighting me and saying all kinds of horrible things. And they're kind of like that every week. They're not there to learn at all. They're there to be babysat, and they don't care. It's kind of in a rough part of town, but all right. Thank you, Susie Q. Yeah, I normally don't teach. I have an employee who does that for me, but I had to go today, and thank God I went because I don't think he could have handled it. It was awful. They had to call security, and they had all kinds of people in there and trying to. These kids they just keep getting their wrist slapped and then sent right back into the classroom. It just stinks. All right. Will we see gasoline prices reach $5 per gallon? I think yes. I've thought that for a while. Will we see gasoline prices reach $5 per gallon in the US, across the US? Yes. It's already higher than that in like the West Coast, I think. Yeah. Daniel. Okay, you retyped it. CJ, I'll do that one first. Okay. Okay, got it. Gotcha. CJS. Trump said Repubs should stay in town and pass the SAVE Act, and that Jesus wants them to pass the SAVE Act. Will that comment work against Trump with senators and MAGA? Will Trump's comment about Jesus and the SAVE Act work against him? Do they believe it? No. Are they afraid of him? Ooh, yes. Okay. So, will they pass the SAVE Act? Will they pass? And if you're not familiar with the SAVE Act, for those of you who live under a rock or in another country, the SAVE Act is basically it's a voter suppression thing that's going to require people whose names have changed to get passports and new birth certificates and all kinds of stuff to vote. It's a poll tax. That's really what it is, which is against the law. Will the SAVE Act pass the? Will it pass? No. Look at this. I was going to say the Senate. It's kind of going out. Okay. Well, we have some version of the SAVE Act. Okay, guys, this is saying no. So the routes can be wrong. I'm feeling like it. I feel like it could, but yeah. Okay, Daniel asks, are we still on track to elect the next president will be a Democrat? Let's say this, the next elected president will be a Democrat. Will the next elected president be a Democrat? Okay. I think there's a difference. Will the next president be a Democrat? No. Yeah. Yes, Gray. They were gaslighting me for sure. Unbelievable, these kids. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Donald knows he's in the files. Bribes and threats abound. Okay. So Japan has offered to donate oil to Australia as Asian countries are first in line for the supplies remaining. Will the offer be realized? Okay. Okay. Will Japan's offer of petrol be accepted by Australia, or will Australia receive oil from Japan? I'm getting yes. I feel like a few countries will come to Australia's aid. Yeah. Yeah. Grace says, I recall my last day subbing. It was on a northern res. The white pilot's kids had held a stolen knife over my head behind my back. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I know. I mean, it's not worth my health, my mental health, or my physical health. I know they were just throwing pencils, but they were sharpened pencils and like a fistful of them, and he whipped them right up to the front because he was mad. Anyway, all right. You asked how they gaslit. Well, they were gaslighting me by saying I was saying that I said things that I didn't say. And then, oh, no, you did. Yes, you did. Oh, yes, you did. And I was like, no, I wouldn't say that. And and then they were trying to kind of insinuate that I was disrespectful to one of the kids who was on her phone with headphones on in the class. And these kids try to pull a fast one all the time. They're always like, "Oh, my mother's here, I have to go." And then they leave and they go wander around the school, right? So I have to be very careful with that. Hi, Donna Marie. So that this one kid was on her phone, and then it turned out that it was kind of a serious thing, but I was skeptical. I didn't hear what she said, and turns out somebody she knows who has a history of suicidal ideation, let's put it that way, was threatening something or commenting to her. And I said, okay, take your stuff. After I understood what was going on, I said, take your things and go to the office so they can handle it. I'm not a part of that school. I'm a guest in the school. So I said, please go take your things and go to the office. And they were like, she was like, by then she was mad at me and, oh, you were just rude to her. And I was like, I wasn't really rude to her. She needs to go handle that and get some adults involved. Oh, you're an adult. And I was like, I am teaching this class and there are 4 people right across the hall ready to help her. And anyway, it was that way. And it just, they have zero respect. There is no respect for elders or teachers. Anyway, yeah. So Amanda got a sort of on the SAVE Act, right? Anyway, and it went sideways from there. It just kept going on. And it, like, by then there was no teaching. It's a 2-hour class and there was nothing that I could teach. So, okay. Amy says, once Trump is gone, will we have a panel of trusted and competent people leading the country before the election? And I just want to take this banner all the way off. Okay. Okay. Will we have, let me get that again. I lost it. Okay, Amy, thank you. Once Trump is gone, will we have a panel of trusted and competent people leading the country before the next election? Will we have a panel of competent people leading? Okay, that was kind of a bobbly yes. Okay. Okay, well, any other questions related to that? Oh, did Musk offer to pay TSA salaries? Okay, I didn't see that. So will Elon Musk pay TSA salaries? No. I want to ask a question about TSA. Will TSA will they resolve the shutdown, and will TSA be paid in the next 2 weeks? Yes. Yes. You hear Henry yipping too. We got all the animals. Okay. Yeah, Grace says these 10-year-olds showed at the place demanding a job. I don't know what that means. Okay. Crystal says, will the Southern California quake be in April? Will there be a Southern California quake in April? That looks like a yes. Okay. So it kind of waited a sec, so it might be kind of toward the end of April. There's crazy astrology in April, right in the middle of the month, with 7 planets piled up in the middle of Aries. So kind of crazy. Lori, they're middle schoolers, so there's that. There's that. Thank you. Okay, Rhonda says, if the next president is Vance, is the next president going to be Vance? Yes. Will Vance be in office longer than 6 months? No. Will he be in office for longer than 3 months? No. I asked this the last time. Are they going to angle for the 25th Amendment to remove Donald Trump? Getting it again. Yeah. Okay. Higher Realm says, ask Archangel Michael to clear and vacuum the lower energy and for him to set energy level at the highest level of consciousness for all, for highest good for all. Yes. Yes, please, Archangel Michael. Covington didn't help. What was that, Amanda? Okay. So sad those kids. Oh, and COVID didn't help. I see. You're right. I feel bad for them because they're kind of in a rough part of town, and I know that their families are not very supportive, and that's usually where we see that. But because I teach it, this is a particular charter school, and there's several of them around town, and I teach it at several of them throughout the year. These kids are by far the worst at this particular school because of the neighborhood they're in, and it's terrible to say. Okay. All right, Donna, I'm going to star that and maybe get back to it if we don't have many more questions. But we're doing current events mostly, but I might have time because we don't have that many questions tonight. All right, is Mike Johnson okay with the blatant lies he tells to cover for Trump? Is he okay with it? It's kind of a no. Like, I feel like for him, it sort of eats him up, but he knows he has to do it. Okay. Will he how about this? Does Mike Johnson, is he able to sleep at night with all the lies that he tells? No. Do behind closed doors, do the Republicans who are backing Donald Trump speak ill of him? Do they know that he's chaos for them? Yes, they do. Okay. Why would he do that? I asked when I saw about Musk and TSA. Yeah, and I mean, Musk just lost that big lawsuit. We don't know how much he's going to have to pay, but it's suspected to be in the billions related to anyway. Amanda asks, will ICE be out of airports in May? Will they be out of airports in May? Huh. That's kind of a will the current influx of ICE be out of airports in May? It's kind of like a sort of a wishy-washy yes. Okay. Well, but TSA, let me just confirm. Will TSA be paid by April? Yeah. So, and they will be paid in April. Okay. Gary Gray says, I will never get the image of the reflection out the principal's window of me holding the kid by the scruff, his big stolen knife, and the principal's shocked face when I dragged it into the office. Oh my gosh. That's the other thing. I can't touch these kids. If you touch them, they will go. Like, if they won't move out of their chair, you can't like try to lift them up by their arm or whatever and try to gently remove them. No, 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 no. Nope, it will backfire. And so, I mean, I guess if you have a knife held over your head, then that's something. But okay. I got my rods from this crazy place called the internet, Donna Marie. Thank you. I had some shorter ones, but I like these are much more responsive. And the little tubes are more secure. I've had some before that they had like a little like ball that screwed in the end and they kept falling out and they were kind of a pain. Melody, I'm glad you asked that question. So Melody asks, will there be 3 days of darkness in mid-April for a reset? Because I keep seeing things and I'm wondering, and I do think it's not a bad idea to have a few provisions on hand, especially like water and, toilet paper and some dry goods, right? Canned goods. Okay. Will there be 3 days of darkness in mid-April for a reset? It's not really answering. Will there be an event, like an event with the sun in mid-April that will be notable? Okay, that's kind of it's a yes, but it took a second to get there. Will it be after April? Will it be during April? Yeah. It's that Chris Bledsoe prophecy from the lady. Not any earthquake. Okay, Crystal Blue says not any earthquakes though the large one over 6 points. Okay. Yeah, Liz. Well, unbelievable they can walk around talking on phones. Yes. Gray, I do too. I feel like American kids have, I hate to say it because it makes me sound old and crotchety, but they're very they're like too privileged. I feel sorry for teachers. I really do, because it's very difficult to command any respect. I forgot to put my lipstick on, guys. Oh no. Anyway, my little thin lips. Is the real reason, this is from Rhonda, is the real reason DJT went to war with Iran because it was a way for him and his friends to make money? Well, okay. Is the real reason DJT went to war with Iran because of grifting and money? It's kind of like a sort of, look at this. It just comes right to the edge. Okay. My opinion is a little different. Was it because, well, let's ask about the money. Was he offered money from Israel to a little bit? Was he being blackmailed by Israel to get engaged? There we go. That's the one that I believe, because of his involvement in we call it the Epstein War, right? Okay. Thank you, Rhonda. I mean, I think there's always a reason for money. So while we're talking about money, let me ask this then, because everybody has seen that on the news by now, probably, that Trump commented in like 45 days, or what did he say? 48 hours, we will we'll know whether we're going to bomb Iran's, what was it? Their utilities, their like electrical power plants. Okay, and so there was evidence that just before he would make the announcements and then back out, Taco, people were selling and buying and selling stock like crazy, making call sales. Look, my rods are just sitting here wiggling. What's the question they're saying? Okay. All right. Is Trump intentionally is he involved in insider trading associated with the oil and gas prices? Yes. One investor, they said, did like a a $1.5 billion trade, which is like a record, was that Donald Trump? Did the investor who made the $1 billion trade, was that Donald Trump? Ding, ding, ding. Yes. Okay. Does Iran really have the Epstein files? Asked CJ. No, not really. Bye, Donna Marie. We're going to be doing a show together soon here. Yep, Amanda says he went to war because of Bibi and Putin and Epi. Right? Okay. Everything seems to go back to Epstein. Yes. Great. I don't know how anybody does substitute teaching, because that's kind of what it is for me. They don't have any respect. There are no repercussions because I don't give grades. I'm just kind of there for a couple hours a week. Okay. Why would Trump escape to the Middle East if he's unwelcome here? So whoops, sorry for the wobbles. Will Trump try to escape to the Middle East? Yes. Does he have a bunker that's not getting bombed? Let me ask, will it be in Qatar? Huh. Will it be in Saudi Arabia? Saudi Arabia is what the rods are saying. Okay. Will Trump pass in April, May? Oh my gosh. Will Trump still be on this earth in May? Yeah. Will he still be president in May? That's a yes. I'm going to ask this. Will he still be president in July? Look at that, guys. That's a no. Because there's some other big astrology coming up that suggests not. Okay. Goodbye, Donna Marie, if you're gone. All right. Crystal Blue says, will there be 3 days of darkness at any time this year? Will there be 3 days of darkness at any time? Oh, that's a yes. Oh my. Okay. Should people stock up with food and water? Guys, have a little go kit. Have a little something. Okay. I'm sorry, I don't like to scare people, but I kind of feel like that's true. Liz, will the trading lead a trail to Trump? Will the trading lead to Trump? Yes. Okay. Will there be any repercussions? And it keeps going, yes. All right. So, yes. Will it be after he's out of office? Yes. Because everybody at the FTC is in the bag too, the Federal Trade, whatever they're called. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? The watchdogs for the stock market. All right. Will the details in the files implicating DJT be released by a foreign country soon? Yes. Sorry, that was that noise. That's a big old yes, Rhonda. Will they be released in April? Okay. Hi, Enrique. Will all of them be released in April? No. So more details will be released in April. Yes. Okay. CJ asks, oh, wait, Enrique, will the government shutdown last much longer? I think we got 2 weeks. Will the government shutdown be over in the next 2 weeks? Kind of a slow yes. All right. I hope so, because I have to travel at the end of the month. No, but I feel so bad. And these people, you've got the ICE agents standing around drinking lattes in the airport because they're bringing in fat paychecks, and the TSA has nothing. I mean, they're sucking on fumes right now because they haven't been paid in quite a while. Okay. And we have 37 in the room. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining. If you don't mind, pop your head in and ask a question for the dowsing rods. Great to see you. And if you think of it, take a moment and give me a thumbs up, please, because it does help others to find us. The more the merrier, right? And CJ asks, will there be a major Epstein file or survivor revelation in April? Okay, similar to the one we just asked. Will there be a major revelation in? Yeah, did you see the rods kept trying to? I didn't even get the question out. They were trying to cross. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Will the survivors release some names? Yes. Okay. All right. Can we talk about? Hi, Kat. Nice to see you. I want to ask some questions about the Jack Smith documents that were released today. I'm just getting a chill on that one, so there must be something to it. Interesting. When I point to my head, that's because my head tingles. Hi, Fatima. Good to see you. Oh, you've got the strange flu. Very tired. You think it's COVID. Lost smell, sense. Horrible cough and stuff. Yeah, my mom lost her sense of taste and smell, and she was very tired and coughing and all the thing. But I think she tested either too early or late, and it was a negative. But we think it might have been COVID. Okay. Hi, Flea, Flee. I'm going to call you Flea. Florida. I don't know what it is. Is Melania going to join him when he moves to Saudi Arabia? No. She didn't live with him anyway. What are you talking about? Okay. Ilona, will the 3 days of darkness include Canada? I think it will be the whole world, Ilona, if it happens. Will the 3 days of darkness include Canada? Yes. Will the 3 days of darkness include the whole world? It's like, look, it's just barely crosses, so it's like most of the world. Hi, just visiting. Maybe the Poles won't experience it. Will any of Trump's family ever try to run for office again? Will any of Trump's family? No. Whoa. They're going to bop me in the face if I. They move pretty fast. Okay. I'm going to ask this question. Will the entire Trump family, will the Trumplings also move overseas? Yes. Will, okay. Why am I forgetting his name? Will Jared Kushner be indicted for his grifting? Yes. Liz asks, do all of the Epstein files still exist? That's a yes. Yeah, because these are electronic files. Yeah. I'm sorry about Henry. He wants to go sit out front, is the thought. Craig says, don't worry, Kelly. You don't scare me. My first time I was scared was by the Girl Scouts saying the same thing, stucking up during Y2K. Oh my gosh. Maybe Y2K was just a kind of a wind up to this, right? Kat, will there be any significant quakes in the northwestern coast of the US or Canada, I guess, this year. Said the Cali girl living between two volcanoes. I've said I'm going to be doing this thing, but in my meditations, I keep seeing volcanoes. I do. I've been saying it for a while. Okay. Will there be any significant earthquakes? Let's say 6+ in the northwest coast. Oh, wait. Well, let's see. This year. Will there be 6+ in the northwest coast this year? Yes. All right. Rhonda, is ICE really there for security? Is ICE really at the airports for security? Look how it comes together, but it just stops short. So it's kind of like that's the reason they're saying, but I don't think they're qualified or trained to do the work or allowed to do the work. Okay. Just visiting. I was working in tech during Y2K. We worked for months to get the clocks turned to 2000 from 99. Yes, and everything was fine. I remember that too. Very, very well. We had just moved to Denver and it was quite a thing. All right. Oh, Enrique, you're so sweet. Yeah. When we see you, my smile tingles. Okay, thank you. Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, just visiting. You have to test multiple times for COVID. I think too, with all the variations, I don't know if the tests are as accurate anymore. Okay, I think I already asked that. Did 45 rig the stock market? Yes. Will any Trumps go to jail? Does that include Kirshner's? Will any Trumps or Kirshner's go to jail? That's a yes. Okay. Let's see. Interesting. This is from FLEE. I don't know how to pronounce it. F-Lee. Interesting. 45th old, alone, maybe negotiating with himself in the Middle East. I call it karma. Yeah. I want to ask that. Oh, that's the question. Remember, he went online, or he posted yesterday. He said, Iran gave us a gift, a really beautiful gift. Did Iran give 45 a gift? No. Is he a damn liar? Oh gosh. I think he's just saying it to make it seem like they're making progress. But I know that, well, let's ask that, because is Pakistan helping them come closer to a ceasefire? No, it doesn't look like it. I still believe we're not going to be there within several months. Will the U.S. withdraw from this war within 2 months? Yes. Will we have boots on the ground? They're sending like 7,000 Marines to the Persian Gulf. Will we actually have ground war? Look, it's just a little bit. Okay, that doesn't mean that it's not a bad thing. I mean, it's not a good thing. Let's put it that way. Will any kind of incursions on the ground cause the end to come faster? Yes. Okay. The Bureau of Prisons shredded a lot of documents after Epstein's death. Does anyone have copies? I'm hearing yes. Let's just see. Does the Bureau of Prisons have copies have Epstein copies? A little bit. Does anyone else have copies of Epstein's files? Other files, like financial files? Yes. Okay. So, Craig, did you stock up on cookies? Kitty's back. Hi. Is ICE at the airport to train or practice? Sorry. Hi, Kitty. For being at the polls in November. Move along. Sorry for Kitty Butt. Is ICE there to train for being at the polls? And no. I think it's just bluster. Yeah. You just made a Sammy. Okay. Will Israel replace Netanyahu in the next 2 months? Will Israel replace Netanyahu in the next 2 months? It's like, yeah, it's sort of bobbled and then it's a yes. So maybe at the outset of 2 months, he will be gone. Will Israel put boots on the ground? Yes. I mean, if the US is going to, you're welcome, Amy. If the US is going to do it, Israel should do it. We're the suckers here. I'm sorry. And then the rest of the world suffers. Crystal Blue, I shouldn't have said anything about the 3 days of darkness. Well, the 3 days of darkness last longer than 3 Earth days. That I'm hearing it's a shift or something like that. I don't know what that means. So I feel like I don't even think we could imagine. Scott Lawler, the Marines should disobey and not go there. There is such a thing as conscientious objection. Yeah. I want to ask that question. I've always I hear, I just feel as if the military is going to kind of intervene at some point and end this. But okay. Are there many conscientious objectors to this war? A few. Like it's not a big cross. Will that number grow? Yes. Kat, I know. At polling places, they're going to pull all the punches. Did Trump pay a guard to kill Epps? Did Donald Trump pay a guard to kill Epps? This is kind of a sort of. Did the forces behind Epstein pay to have him killed? Look at that. What is this? Is he deceased? I've always gotten yes. Some people say no. But okay. Israel has elections October 26. Okay. Seems funny how ICE is at major airports when this week is no King's protest. Should we ask about the government? Will government cause kings? You want to rephrase? Okay. Was it Bill Barr who snuffed him? Was it Bill Barr who had it done? Look, guys, I mean, it's just like it's not answering. Was it a whole group of people who came together to have it done? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Jack, let's ask about the Jack Smith, and then we'll talk about the no kings. Okay. All right. It might be just visiting. Thank you. Yeah, to protect me. These people are no bueno. They are no bueno. Okay. Okay. The Jack Smith documents. Will the Jack Smith, I think it was Volume 2 that was released today. Will Volume 2 of the documents, the Jack Smith case, have any impact on Donald Trump? Yes. Will he be deemed a traitor as a result of that case? Yes. Will it happen this year? Look at this. That's a no. Did Donald Trump sell documents to foreign entities? Yes. Did he sell documents to Israel? Yes. To Saudi Arabia? It's kind of like ish. Look at that. It's kind of crossing a little bit. Did he sell to Russia? Yeah. Any other countries? Okay. Will government incite violence at No King's rally? Will the government incite violence at the No King's rallies? Not really. Ish. Look. Will there be any violence at any of the No King's rallies this Saturday? It feels petty. Do you see this? It's like, a little bit of petty. Will anybody be unalived at these rallies, at the rally this weekend? No. I think it's just be careful. Yeah, will the No Kings march on March 28th be successful? Will it gain traction? Will it be successful? Yes. Will it move the needle on this government? That's a slight no. That's like, not really. Okay. Any other questions related to that? That's a great question, CJ. Did Orban help plan Trump's ear injury or help him get reelected? Now, I've got a story about that, but let's see. So recently, this is not my story. Recently, it was revealed that Russia suggested to Orban that he fake an assassination to help people show up and reelect him. Okay. So, did Orban help plan Trump's ear injury? No. Did Russia suggest it? Yes. So I just want to know, you guys have, I think some of you know, I went to the dermatologist this past week. And I asked her, because I had a little thing taken off the top of my ear. It was like a little tiny little basal cell, because I spent my whole summer in the sun out swimming in my friend's pool, and fair skin and all. And I have a little chunk out of my ear that will never grow back, and it took months and months and months for it to heal, because ears do not have any, they don't have a lot of vascular, the cartilage is not vascular, so there's nothing there to help it heal. And so it took me like 4 months of bandages, and it was very painful and miserable. And so I'm just saying, so I asked my dermatologist, I said, so tell me about, like, if a certain president happened to be shot in the upper ear, would it have been healed in 2 weeks? And she was like, hell to the no. She's like, that area, we would see scarring right there now. And hi, Gina. How are you? CJ, Orban visited Trump 2 times before the ear injury, maybe passing info for Russia. I believe that. Yeah. Yeah. So I guess back to the No Kings. Will it move the needle with the people? It's funny. No. I'm getting a ringing in my ear right when I said that, though. So I think it's because the needle's already been moved. Yes. I hid it very well. My ear, yeah, I'm not going to show you because it's ugly. I don't like it. It's just a little chip out of, I always say like a chipmunk took a bite. It's okay. It's okay, Gina. No worries. All right. Should we hold a no queens protest for Lindsey Graham? Oh, Lindsey Graham. I thought I saw him on something the other day and I was like, drunk. He's drunk. Anyway, any other questions that we have here? All right. I'm going to see if there are any that I missed. I think I got them all. Oh, no. Sorry. If anybody else has a question, pop it in there. Daniel, I'm going to look up that comet situation. Okay. I think that's all the questions that I see. All right, guys. This is a short one, and I'm happy to pop on. Will Anonymous release the unredacted Epps files? Will Anonymous, we haven't heard much from good old Anonymous. Will Anonymous release the Epps files? That's my maybe, not sure, ask again later. Is there really an anonymous group who's trying to release things? Is it really just somebody on social media trying to get likes, follows? Yeah, it kind of feels like that. All right. Have they ever released anything? No, not really. They keep saying 2 weeks. Oh, will Mullins, good question, Daniel. Will Mullins' DHS tenure be short? Will Mullins' DHS tenure be short? A big old guess. Will he be in longer than 3 months? Will he be in longer than 3 months? Unfortunately, that looks like a yes. Okay. When will Kelly be away to the UK? I will be gone from the 28th of April, not March, April until first week, like the 4th or the 5th of May. So, yeah. Very excited to go visit our son. Will the 6-point quake in Southern California be on? Okay. Are you trying to figure out when to go on vacation, Crystal Blue? Will the 6-point quake in Southern California be in April? It's a slight yes. So will there be a bigger quake later? Yes. So it feels like there may be some rumblers in April. Okay. Oh, that's the exact. Are you going to the UK too? Will there be an 8 earthquake this year? Will we see an 8 I'm going to say in the US? I know I'm being selfish. We'll see a Richter scale 8 in the US. It's kind of close. Will there be a 7? That's a big one. Okay. CJ Chand, was Fetterman pressured by someone to vote for Mullins? Yeah. Look. Yes. Will Keg's breath term in prison be longer than his time at the DOD? Will Keg's breath will Hegseth go to prison? Yes. I always feel like the Hague for Heg's breath. Heg's I don't even remember his name now. Hegseth. Okay. Oh, Paris to see old friends. That sounds really nice. Okay, just visiting. Will that earthquake be bigger? Like, will it be 7.5 or higher? It doesn't look like it, but maybe close to it. Ew. Sorry. Oh, okay. All right, guys. Well, that was fun. I'm gonna, since I had such a crappy day at school, I'm gonna make my husband take me out to dinner. What do you think about that? Isn't that a good idea? Oh, you're going to, I want to go back to Italy. Yeah, I want to go to Italy. I've never been. I was supposed to go many years ago. And we were set to leave in a week, and then one of my uncles died. And so we had to stay home because it was my mom's brother. And so, will that 7 quake be in California? Yes, that's what we were asking. Yeah. Will it involve Cascade subduction zone? Oh my gosh, you guys are getting too detailed. Let's ask this. Will this big earthquake involve the Cascade subduction zone? Oh, look. Big yes. I don't know what any of these are, right? Is there a difference between like what's the other fault? I don't know. Will he make prison wine whole incarnated, or I don't know what you're writing. Okay. I know. I'm excited to go. We were supposed to, well, see, I've had trouble. I've been to Europe, but I haven't been to Italy. I've been to Belgium, Amsterdam, but it was a long time ago. And every single time I've tried to go, so like not even 10 years ago, we were in the UK for a trip, and it was actually it was a while ago. It was when H1N1 was a thing, and everybody was kind of freaking out about that. And my youngest son got sick while we were there. So this, I guess, is about 15 years ago. And he got, he had the fever and like flu-like symptoms. Because he likes to, when he was a kid, he would like walk with his hands touching everything, gathering germs. He was like a human petri dish, and he'd pick up. So we were supposed to take the Eurail to France and spend time there. But what are we asking the rods? What are Enrique? Anyway, so we were supposed to go to Paris, and that got canceled too because he was sick, and we got locked down. And this was in the first H1N1. We got locked down in Oxford, I think it was. The DHS didn't want us to move because they thought he was, anyway, so they came around and they swabbed him and all that kind of other stuff and said, don't move. And then he recovered and we went home before they even responded to us. And it was not H1N1. It was just some kid thing. All right. Will I ever get to go back to Europe? Yes, I will get to go to Europe. Okay. And I am looking forward to it. Yeah, I want to go to Italy. I have a bunch of places I want to go. Yeah. Anyway, all right, guys. I appreciate you guys coming. I just heard my husband walk in the door, so I think we're going to go get sushi. Oh, you were stationed in Sicily, close to that base. They're having volcanoes. They have big rumblings in around Sicily. All right. Well, thank you guys. Have a really wonderful night. I hope to see you guys Saturday. And toodaloo. Have a great night. Bye-bye.